This is where all the magic happens, and this is that new triple screen setup I have for my MacBook Pro, and it's working out great. But one of the problems that I have is these are 14-inch screens, which goes great with the laptop, great aesthetic, everything seems to line up perfectly there, but my eyes just are not what they used to be. And I want to get more data on the screen in a slightly larger format than what those triple screens allow. And as you guys can see, I'm working with really limited space here in the RV. So I've got my laser printer, which hasn't gotten a lot of use since I've gotten the label printer. The label printer is awesome. 4x6 self-adhesive labels on the Toads DI boards that I ship out for you guys. And then my charging station and everything. Okay, it actually looks a little bit bigger on camera. I checked in with the members in the members only chat room on the Discord server. If you want to be in there and help me make decisions like this for what's going on in the future of the channel, then there is a join button right below, and the Discord server itself is linked below that. So if you join up, we'll get you into that Discord room and you can have some lively discussion with the rest of the private members in there. What I settled on out of a couple of these, there was one from Samsung and there's one from LG, and it's almost flip a coin type deal. This one was actually a little bit more expensive. They're both the same resolution. I want to say it's 3440. There it is. 3440 by 1440, which is widescreen. So normally your HD resolution that is on your TV or your HDMI connectors or whatnot is 1920 by 1080. And this is twice as wide and only a little bit taller because I don't have height. I have width in there. And it's a 34-inch screen, so it's what they call ultra wide. It's almost two screens in one. So I'm going to have the ability to have the laptop screen for all the chat windows and stuff like that. And then I'll have this for editing videos, and I can do a side-by-side on this screen. Or I can edit the video completely widescreen on here, which would be extremely immersive, and have the video output itself shown on the laptop screen. You know, when we do some editing, I'll show you a little bit. When we do some editing, I have my entire control surface in front of me, and then I have a second screen which just shows the output video of what it's going to look like when you guys see it. All right, and there she is. So this is a kind of a standard size picnic table thing I got it sitting on here, and you can kind of tell that the screen is curved. So that'll make it so that hopefully if I look from side to side, I won't have to look over and then kind of turn my eyes back to see the flatness of the screen. I can look over and the screen kind of curves over to see me. Let's take a look at the backside because there's some interesting stuff on the backside. There's always interesting stuff on the backside. So we've got two HDMI inputs, so I can do two completely different computers at once, or I can have like a television signal or something like that if I wanted to do that. And then there are two USB ports, and I'm not really sure what these here are for. Well, I guess we'll have to look at the owner's manual. Headphones out or speakers out if I wanted to put a really nice sound system with this. And it's got an Ethernet port. And the reason why it has an Ethernet port is because this is actually a smart TV on top of being a computer screen. And there's a very interesting distinction I want to make there. This is not a TV that I'm using as a computer screen. This is a computer screen that can be used as a TV. If you do go out and get one of those really large screen TVs, there's something called dot pitch, which is the space between the pixels on the screen. And on a TV, those are spaced farther apart. And since you're sitting farther away, you can't really tell. But when you are real up close and personal on a computer screen, you can actually see those with your eyes, and that creates some kind of eye fatigue for you. And this is not supposed to have that because it's a computer screen first and a TV second. And in my shack behind me, sometimes you'll see I've got a TV screen first, which then I also use as a computer screen, which doesn't really look all that good. Even though it's big, it's real low resolution. And then the last thing we have is a power connector, which goes over to one of these wall warts, and this puts out 19 volts. Man, it would be so awesome if this thing accepted 12 volts. But most of your beefy mini PCs, like your i7s, i9s, and so forth, run on 19 volts. Most of your laptops run on 19 volts. You can get USB-C buck converters that would take the 20 volts that USB-C puts out and knock it down to 19 volts. And this thing will probably accept 20 volts and be happy all day long with it. So there is some options for that in the future. I'll check in the owner's manual and see what the power spec is and see if I can eliminate one more cord. I'm trying to run as much of my shack off of DC power as possible since I have a lot of batteries. And I also have my ham shack power supply. And less AC means less noise and also more grid independence. I wasn't really planning on showing this part, and you're getting some light washout from lights that are behind me, but the voice in this is just crazy. So I'm going to try and press next.
Next button.
Next button. I mean, it's nice that it's got the accessibility feature in there, but...
Country, United States, check. To proceed to the next step, press the button at the bottom of the screen.
Okay, we're going to keep United States. Next button.
Audio guidance is currently turned on to assist the visually impaired. Do you want to keep audio guidance turned on? Yes, no. No. Button.
No button. So some really good accessibility features for someone who would have trouble seeing the screen. Time zone. Uh-oh. I hate that I have to pick Chicago to get Central Time. And having my laptop screen extension in a time zone is crazy. How to set up the monitor for a mobile device. Could you imagine a 34-inch ultra-wide screen as the interface for your phone? So we're going to leave it at monitor. And then it wants to connect to a Wi-Fi network. I don't see any reason to connect this to a Wi-Fi network. So I'm going to hit skip up here in the corner, because I'm not going to use any of those. You are able to use multiple services such as VOD viewing, internet searching, software update, and etc. by connecting your monitor to the network. I'll do it later if I have to, but you can see here on the remote we've got Netflix, Disney, Prime Video, or the LG channels, and I'll just use my computer that's connected to it to do all that stuff. So let's skip it again. Ooh, pretty. Yeah, I'm digging the curved screen already. I thought there'd be an adjustment. I thought I wouldn't like it too much. Explore the world with your LG monitor. Yeah, I just want the screen. The current picture mode is optimized setting for energy saving. If you make it brighter, please change the picture mode. Okay, so how do I get to HDMI input? PC? HDMI? There we go. That's what I wanted to see. HDMI 1 on the PC, which is the MacBook here, and this is just showing an empty desktop. And then one of the other things that I have is I have this Logitech keyboard. It's got plenty of use out of it, and I have this Logitech mouse that has the extra left-right wheel on it, as well as the up-down wheel, and if you press in the wheel, it'll do speed versus click, click, click. It'll just scroll on its own. But up here at the top, I've got these two different buttons. It's a Bluetooth set, and it can also use the Logitech unifying remote. But if I hit number 1, that's the laptop. And then I can plug in any other device and configure it for Bluetooth number 2. And then I've got my built-in keyboard, video, and mouse, or KVM, setup to switch between two computers just using this right here. Pretty slick. All right, so this is pretty neat. It is a 3440 by 1440 screen, but it'll do compression and virtualization to get me 4096 by 2160. So that's 4096 by 2160 resolution. And it doesn't look bad. I mean, I wouldn't use it for video editing because some of the finer details are skewed a bit. And the screen menus up here are a little bit bad. Let me switch it over to the right display. And then there we go. That's nice and crisp the way it's supposed to be. And that's actually a really decent size for my eyeballs. Let's look at the Chrome menu here. Yeah, there's your Chrome menu. That's pretty good readable. And you can not pick up any pixels on this screen with the camera. At least I can't, looking at the little tiny lens that I can see on the back side of the camera. Let's see over here. And then we can do high DPI, 1720 by 720. And that didn't change much. Oh, it did change. It just changed very fast. So it's the same physical resolution, it's just more pixels. So if I change it, poof, it's instant between those two. Where if I change an actual real physical resolution, it's got to work. This is 2560 by 1080 and 2048 by 858. Mac's always got weird resolutions. And then 1920 by 1080. And I was kind of zooming in on the menus in the upper corner so you can see how crisp the text is. But I'm going to go back to the default, 3440 by 1440. And that's where we're going to keep it for this part of the process and see how we like it. So this is what I was talking about with the video editing display. And this timeline down here, this horizontal part, is where I spend most of my time making edits, and I look for large spaces in here to get rid of where there's no action going on. Don't want to waste your time watching, like I don't want to have my own time wasted while I watch something else. And then there is the output of what you guys will see. So I have a little bit of a preview up here of what's going on, and this clip here, the way this works, just a real quick overview, is I have two different video clips, and I've synced the audio between the two, and then I've removed the audio clip from this white one. This white one here is the cell phone capture, the screen capture of the cell phone itself, and then whatever shows up on top is on top over here. So if I was to take this white one and move it below and put me above, you wouldn't see it at all, because the picture of me playing with the solar panel down here is the full screen, where this is only a little bit of the screen. So if we do that real quick, let's unlink, which lets them free float, and then I can move you up, and then you can see over here it's gone. And I'll move it back. So it's just the one, now it's both. Then if I come over here, I can drag that back down where it belongs. I can select all three of them and link them together. And then this is the reason why we need a big, powerful computer. I'm gonna take these 3 clips, the screen capture of the cell phone here, and the picture of me looking at the solar panel and working with it, and then the audio, and I'm gonna merge them all together in real time. And we're gonna see them output there, as well as up there in the little preview section. But this is what I really care about. Well, let's try lifting up this side, which is more in line with the sun. There you go. 6 amps, 6.3 amps. This is a regular television set type deal going on here that I've got set up as a computer screen. And if you look, you can see there's actually like a grid of pixels that you can see. And from across the room in a TV scenario, it's not bad at all. But from a right up in front of your face computer screen scenario, it's pretty bad. And then you guys saw that the laptop wasn't sitting directly on the desktop, and that really helps with your neck angles and viewing angles and so on. So I raised this thing up, and even this is adjustable up to its highest setting, because I'm a little taller than a lot of people out there. So this gets the laptop up at a comfortable, more straight on viewing angle for my eyeballs. And this new screen is huge, so it's darn near already up there at the top, just on its own stand. And now the big reason that I wanted this is because I get my USB-C ports back. I'm using the HDMI port here for the video output, and then I'm using this for my camera input, and I can plug my microphone back in. Let's do that real quick. There is the microphone, and I don't need... Yes, I'd like to allow the microphone that you've already connected to before to connect again. And now I don't need that USB hub at all. That USB hub has served me well in the past, but it is past its prime now, because we have more and more power demanding things out of USB-C power supplies as they're becoming more and more universally adopted because of things like power delivery, where you can get up to 20 volts out of a USB-C power supply. So my 200 watt 20 volt USB-C power supply is powering the laptop, and I had an additional power cord running into that USB-C hub so that the hub was only powering its peripherals, and then it was connected to the laptop. And it was still having trouble. Oh yeah, and that super cool desk mat, that comes from my friend James over at Quirky QRP. I'll leave a link for that down below as well. But check it out, it's got all kinds of information on it. Reflection, refraction, interference, polarization, visible spectrum, invisible, ultraviolet, all kinds of cool radio stuff for your ham shack. And it's about 6 foot wide. So it's underneath the printers, it's underneath the 34-inch screen, it's underneath the laptop, it covers almost the entire desk for me. Long-term review update. So I have been editing a couple of videos on this, I did a couple of live streams, I spent a couple of days doing my business, checking emails and going through support and stuff like that. And it is fantastic because it's double wide. You can actually put 2 applications side by side on the same screen. And my mind is playing a little bit of a trick on me where that second application is, I feel like the curvature of the screen comes out. It's totally mental, but it's still pretty neat to see something like that. Copy and paste stuff back and forth is real easy. I can actually see a lot better because the screen is bigger compared to the quality of my old man eyeballs at this point. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can see when future updates come out on more fun radio and computer gear. The triple monitor screen, that's a keeper. I'm going to have it out for prototype activations and stuff on the go, and I can be really, really annoying at coffee shops if I'd like to. I'll leave links in the description down below for the new screen in case you're interested in that, the keyboard and all the other stuff that I showed you, as well as the triple screen setup. And I've got the video on the triple screen setup right here in case you missed that one. Thanks for being awesome. I'll see you over there.